Hello everyone and welcome to the sideboard at the Cincinnati Open Series. I'm Glenn Jones. I'm joined by Joe Bernal.
Hello.
Joe, welcome to the booth once again. You've done a little bit of a throwback this weekend. You're playing Black-Red Zombies, a deck we haven't really seen since it tore Standard up over the course of 2 Grand Prix about a year ago. Obviously, the strength of that archetype coming from Thundermaw, Hellkite, and Falcon Wrath Aristocrat, 2 cards that players are beginning to observe are really well positioned in Standard. I assume that that's one of the reasons you gravitated towards the deck in the first place.
Absolutely. It has all of its threats are still very good. Falcon Wrath Aristocrat, Thundermaw, Hellkite, like they're the best haste threats. They're really solid. Like Falcon Wrath Aristocrat's like still hard for a lot of decks to kill. Like some decks have like Tragic Slip and stuff, but I mean they don't have a lot of them, and like it's bad versus the rest of your deck. So. Also, the lower mana costed threats, they're actually very well positioned too right now. Like Gravecrawler, a lot of decks aren't playing Pillar of Flame, so they really don't have a reasonable way to deal with it. Knight of Infamy, Geralf's Messenger, and Lifebane Zombie. Like they're all like pretty absurd right now. So.
Yeah, as these Burning Earths have kind of come into the format, they've pushed blue-white-red into a lot more blue-white decks. A lot of those players have transitioned over. We saw that at Grand Prix Kitakashu with with Yuya Takahashi, I believe.
With the Delver deck?
Yeah, the blue-white Delver. Yeah, and that was pretty interesting deck to see. And I've seen a lot of other blue-white decks also, the slower versions running like Blind Obedience and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it seems to make sense that the Pillar of Flames are kind of receding. And also, Lingering Souls, definitely not showing up as much anymore. Junk Aristocrats, with all these Thundermaw Hellkites that are surging into the format, has kind of like died out. And that's ideal for Falcon Wrath Aristocrat, obviously.
The things that block Falcon Wrath Aristocrat, there's not many in the format.
Yeah.
And also, what you said about Junk, like it's like the reason I think this deck got pushed out of the format was because of Junk, and I mean there's not many people playing it anymore. Like and for good reason. Like the aggro decks can still punish it really hard. A lot of its good matchups have like kind of gone away. So
sure.
If Junk's not in the room, like this is still a very, very good deck.
Magic 2014 also gave you a huge weapon against Junk in Lifebane Zombie. Not only is it a zombie, that's handy, but it's also a 3/1 Intimidator, and it can play Castigate on Thragtusk or Restoration Angel or any number of cards that show up, but those are the 2 big ones, I imagine.
Yes, all the cards you can't beat, like Thragtusk, you can take that guy, and it's like phenomenal. Like anytime you hit with this guy, when you hit with a...
That's just quite good.
It's kind of hard to lose. Like when you take a Huntmaster from Jund or a Thragtusk from Jund, and then you're left with a 3/1 threat. So even if they kill it, like you've gotten an absurd amount of value.
Sure.
They don't have many threats. It's pretty insane. Definitely the best addition to the deck.
In recent sets, for sure.
Definitely.
One of the changes I saw that you made to your list is you kind of got rid of the burn element. A lot of people used to run, like some Pillar Flames or Spears or even Brimstone Volleys in these decks to complement the Messengers and Blood Artists and all that nonsense. But you've actually gone with Dreadbore, a pretty hard removal option. What made you want to go for Dreadbore as opposed to some burn?
Well, the burn spells just like they're so narrow at what they kill. Like Pillar of Flame, like it kills some stuff, doesn't kill a Flint Hoof Boar. Brimstone Volley, like kind of kills everything, but you got to work for it, and it's slow. Searing Spear, just not really up to snuff. Like it doesn't kill Thundermaw Hellkite, it doesn't kill. What are those big dumb things? I'm sorry. Like any like the post-board things, like Archangel of Thune and Rock's Faithbender.
Yeah.
Like when people boarding that plan versus you, it doesn't do it. Like those burn spells just suck.
Yeah, you have to do a lot of work to get through those guys.
Right. Yeah. So like the hard removal is like really good right now because you can unconditionally kill like just about anything, and especially Olivia. Jund is playing that guy, and like if they untap with it, it's still very good versus you. And I would just have like pillars and spears and stuff in my hand versus Olivia, and I actually like want to vomit because I couldn't do anything. So
one of the more interesting things I think actually about Summer Standard is you've got all these sets. It's as big as Standard ever gets at this time. So a card like Dreadbore that is just going to be able to do its job like most of the time, might come out as the better card, even though these other cards saw much more play even while Dreadbore was around. Because I think you are facing a lot of powerful decks, the most powerful creatures like they're going to have the creatures that can beat Searing Spears and
Yeah,
Pillar of Flames or whatever. That's what they've come prepared for. So it's been interesting. I'm excited to see this particular version of Grouse Messenger showing up. We've seen a few others in recent months between black-green and black-white now, coming back full circle to black-red.
Yeah, those decks are
obviously different.
Yeah, those decks are pretty hilarious to play against the Desecration Demon decks. You got these grave crawlers and stuff, and I mean, I think Desecration Demon's good and everything, but man, it's really great to just sack that guy. And
most of these Desecration Demon people probably have not cast one against a Gravecrawler recently. It will dissuade them from casting one again.
I guarantee it'll make them really regret playing that card.
Last but not least, you do have a 60th card in your deck to even things up. You got one Bonfire of the Damned. Because you only need one, or?
Yeah, you don't. It's kind of like winning the lotto. Like, I hate that card. I hate playing tons of them because I hate drawing them, especially in a deck with like a low land count. And you don't really like want it versus everyone. But
I would argue you want it against very few people, probably. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. But what it does do if you draw it, if you happen to draw it, is it makes your like 2-power like crappy creatures attack into their X3s like, and you can at least like kind of trade for them. So it does that, and also like if you miracle it, it's just insane in this deck, like in any deck. So I feel like one was just the right number. It's pretty trolly, but like it's definitely it's good enough for sure.
All right. Well, your sideboard, I'd say it's nothing special. Pretty standard options. We got Liliana's, Vampire Nyx, Pillar of Flames. You guys get the gist. Joe, what's your record right now in standard?
X1. So is that 4-1?
4-1. Yeah, 4-1. All right. Well, not as accomplished as some mages, such as budget hero Adam Prost.
Oh my God, that deck is insane.
But certainly a strong start nonetheless with Black Red Zombies. Good luck in the remaining rounds.
Thank you.